Hello and welcome back to Master Debate, and I'm your host with the most, Jayden Becker. On today's show, I welcome two Master Debaters. My first guest, known for his mic skills and also the action behind the scenes, Jordan Alexander. And my second guest, Mike Brindisi. You're correct, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the professor. This is the man who decided to grab life by the throat and return it back to school for his education. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here today.
Of course, thank you.
Of course, always, guys. Now, really important, pressing question here. Given the world of sports is now seeing a change a bit in the world of ownership, maybe for the sum of good, some for the sum of bad. But what celebrity would make a great team owner? Jordan, I'm gonna start with you.
The person that I have in mind he's a winner at heart, and is the face of a plethora of endorsements. That would be Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay,
that would be Shaquille O'Neal. Indeed.
Mike, what do you got?
Well, you know, I thought long and hard about this. Shaq, obviously, a great answer, one of the best. But I kind of thought outside the box here. Sometimes you don't necessarily need an athlete, right? I chose Lorne Michaels, and the reason I chose Lorne Michaels is he's been the showrunner, creator, executive producer of not only Saturday Night Live since 1975, but he's got his hands involved in Late Night with Seth Meyers, The Tonight Show. He's executive producer of a lot of different films that the cast members were in. If anybody knows the ins and outs, because let's be honest, it's more than just the product on the field, it's running a business. And I think Lorne Michaels he's pulled in many directions, and he knows how to manage that.
Jordan, Mike just talked about the world of business, if you will, but Shaq has done a plethora of things, as you mentioned, in the world of business. You can give us a few.
Jayden, you hit the nail right on the head. Shaq is a business mogul. You understand this? This man knows how to get himself into the room, get himself into the discussion, get himself into the picture. You know what I mean? So, and he's always considered and always in front of a camera, finding a way to, spread himself out, spread himself around. What commercials is Lorne Michaels? Let's start with that. What commercial is Lorne Michaels?
Wait a moment there, Mike.
Let's talk about that.
Obviously, Jordan and Mike, Shaq has been around the block a few times in the world of business, but you spoke a bit on game operations. How important is that when cultivating a business?
Well, that's exactly right. Well, first of all, Shaq is on camera all the time because who the hell is going to say no to Shaq? And he's large. He just walks on the camera and everyone gets out of the way. But yeah, he's a great personality. But you have to understand something. In regards to your question, Lorne Michaels, when you're running a team, it's not just about the product on the field. When you're owning a team or when you're owning a business, you have to learn how to delegate, right? And knowing what your strengths are. Owners own, managers manage, players play. Lorne Michaels will know, look, I can't get inside the mind of an athlete like Shaq could, right? So I'm going to hire a GM that can do that. But as far as day-to-day operations, which is a huge part of owning a sports franchise, I mean, this guy has done budgeting, casting, advertising. He handles the whole thing since 1975 with SNL.
Well, I would say that Shaq definitely knows how to allocate this time because this man is busy. He's doing podcasts during the day. He's doing vocal recordings for video games. He's an NBA 2K man. Like, this man is gold bond. Like, he is everywhere. He knows how to allocate his time. He's DJing. He's running a soul chain, like, for soul food. Like, he needs to be able to organize his time in order to do these things.
Well, and Mike, I need to ask you here, just given that coming from the outside of sport is Lorne Michaels, do you believe that affects him going into the world of sport if that were to be the case?
Again, I don't. I don't think it affects him at all because, again, he's going to be focusing on a lot of the other things. Concession prices, parking, facilities management. These are things that we don't talk about in media because it's boring to talk about, right? But those are the things that you really have to worry about when you're owning a team. I'm sorry, no offense to Shaq, but do I give a hoot if my owner is eating his own soul food and is doing commercials and I don't want my owner doing that. I want my owner focusing on the team.
You should think that.
I don't need him involved in a million other things.
Jordan, Shaq being from inside the world of sport, how much does that help him now going into it?
It does wonders for the team. You have a coach, an owner that knows the game. Not only does he know the game, he's one of the best to ever play the game. He's a four-time NBA champion. He was Rookie of the Year his rookie year. Like, you know what I'm saying? These aren't just things that we just glance over, you know what I'm saying? This is important stuff. And the fact that he knows how to do this as the owner, not even the coach, because you have to have that connection with your coach. That's always important. But your owner being just as invested, if not more, in the team than the coach, I feel like that's important,
And
man.
Mike,
Dan Snyder was a fan of the team. He was all about football. How did that work out? Derek Jeter, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Another conversation. He didn't do so well in Miami as the GM there. Phil Jackson went to the Knicks. That was a disaster. And you can't say anything bad about Phil Jackson, or it doesn't touch the legacy of Phil Jackson or Jeter. But I'm sorry, the list of resumes is impressive, but that doesn't apply to Owen. I mean, it helps in some ways, but that's not the end.
Well, you know what's not a part of Lorne Michaels' legacy? Dunking the basketball. Let's see him get on the field. Huh?
Okay, well,
let's see him get on the field and do that.
Because Shaq could get on camera and be funny.
Have I seen Lorne Michaels in front of the camera?
No, that's not his gig.
No, but he should be able to,
You don't want an owner that's
spread himself out.
Mike, I need you to add on to that point there. Being that main focal point behind the scenes and having that viewpoint, and last point here, how much does that effectively help the team as a whole from an outside the box perspective?
Being behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Well, you want to be behind the scenes as an owner. Yeah, you're going to be in front of the scenes at some point. I mean, look, you can take the Jerry Jones approach and make everything a circus, a media circus, or you can just focus on the team and focus on owning a franchise. And look, Lorne Michaels is pulled in a million different directions every day since 1975, and he figures it out, and the show's been successful.
Thank you guys so much. Well, that's our time here on Master Debate, and for this debate, I want to thank our master debaters, Mike Bernissi and Jordan Alexander. Coming up after the break, we discuss who suffers the most from Ice TV losing all the files from the Cortica broadcast on Yes. Also, can Pete Johans find another endeavor? These two duke it out to see which platform can Johans dominate next. This and more on Master Debating. There you go.
That's good.